First?
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
I couldn't be more excited than to be the O-line coach at Texas State. I'm fired up to be back in Texas. Love this state. Love the high school football in the state. Love the college football in the state. Never been more excited about a job than I am right now. Love these guys. This team is tough. Love this team. Love my line. I'm ready to go. All right. What else?
You know, I heard from Coach Babineau, he said a big reason why you picked Texas is because you're tired of the transient life of the coach. You want to be around your son here.
Yeah.
In here. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I just got done with, I was with the Bengals for 2 years. I left College Station in Texas A&M to go with the Bengals. And I've had a couple of jobs in between. I worked for A&M when my son was born. I ended up with another team with the Dolphins. I ended up back at A&M. So my son Michael is 14 years old, and he spent 7 years of his life in College Station. So I asked him, I said, Mike, we put you through a lot in this profession. And so, you know, he's lived in other places 7 years as well, but the majority of his life has been in Texas. So I said, Mike, well, you can go to high school anywhere you want. And he goes, Dad, I want to move to Texas. So that's where we moved. Couldn't be more excited. I'm fired up to be back here. I'm fired up that my son and my wife are going to live in this state. Nothing but great things. As you can tell from my accent, because I parked my car at Harvard Yard, that I'm not a Texan, okay? But I'm happy to be in Texas. But my son is a true Texan. My son wears cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and all that. So we're all fired up to be here, of course.
Does he play football?
Of course he does.
What position?
Of course he does. Just like your son's going to ask a lot of questions, right? My son plays football. Yes, he does. And my son plays hockey. Again, so, you know, just to play high school football in this state, to play Pop Warner football in this state, you know, you're playing against the best talent in the country down here, and he's going to do a good job. He's a good little player. You know, it's one of the things that tells me a lot about the line that I have. My son, of course, my son comes into every room that I work at. One of the benefits of coaching in college is that my son can be around the players that I coach and around the teams that I coach. So, of course, it's something that told me a lot about the character of the guys that I have in this building. And I will say this, the character in this building is outstanding. This head coach has done a phenomenal job. I know the record doesn't show that yet, but when you're building a team, it is hard. It is hard. And this guy is doing the right stuff. If you look at this team right now, I'm just watching. I stayed here for 6 days on my interview because I wanted to see what this team was about. I just came from a hard situation. We didn't win a lot of games, and I'm tired of that. And I'm coming to another situation where they hasn't won a lot of games, but I knew that he's right on the edge of this. And I looked at this team, and I'm like, we got a tough team. I mean, we got some good players. We got a tough team. I see a team that doesn't slide away from anything when it comes to respecting our league. They have a lot of respect for the teams in our league, of course, but they're in awe of nobody. They're in awe of nobody, and you can clearly see that. And that's what I love about this level. I love the level of football that we're at. I love the fact that, you know, a lot of these guys, they're just right on the edge of being a major college player, and why aren't they? Because they got a lot of them, I got slightly overlooked, maybe they were missing a step, whatever it might be. Most of these guys could play major college football. If we line up against a major college football team right now, we will go at it. We will go at it. I can guarantee you that. But I love the edge of the player. I love the edge of the player at this level. These guys are pissed off. They got an axe to grind. And I love that about these kids. And I love that about this school. I've driven up and down this road 1,000,000 times. I've recruited up and down from New Braunfels to San Antonio, up to Dallas, up and down 35 1,000,000 times. And I never pulled in here. I never saw the stadium until I came here to interview. And the day that I walked in here, I said, this school is so much like my experience at A&M. It's incredible. My players are hard. This offensive line, these guys are hard. These guys are tough country boys that want to win football games, and they understand what it takes to win these games. And that I credit to Coach Spath for bringing the right players in. I didn't bring these guys in here. These guys were here when I got here, and and now it's my job to get them ready to play. And but the bottom line is, and I've said this for forever, this is what I love about college football. In college football, I'm responsible for bringing the guys into the room. The number one job that I have to make this team better is the guys I recruit and the guys I bring into the building. And then if you want to call me out on a Monday because my players didn't block, I recruited them, I coach them. You got every right, okay, because I brought them in here. And when I bring them in here, now that's the type of thing that I always look for. When I bring a guy in here, do I have to motivate that? No, I don't have to motivate that guy. I recruited that guy. His parents motivated him. Okay, his parents gave him the genes to have the talent to play here. And then his mom and dad also gave him the work ethic, and they taught him how to be tough and all the things about life and all that stuff. Okay, and to prepare him to come in here and be the player that he can be.